going on here, and I think we're going to continue with the storyline because remember, I was telling you that somebody was going to pass, and I keep getting this chemotherapy. I keep getting the idea of this chemotherapy. But the issue is, I think that this is okay. I'm not a medical doctor, and if you can't tell that this is for entertainment purposes only, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, but there's an issue. Okay, so there are specific psychotherapies for depression, right? So in the past, when there's a treatment that's been specifically developed for acute depression, and you have somebody that is needing this combined with chemotherapy. So, we've got the issue with combined chemotherapy and psychotherapy. And it depends on whether or not this is for a brief duration, right? So let's just say something that's not more than 20 weeks. All right. So if we're just going to talk about the psychotherapy for depression, so you could have cognitive behavioral therapy. Um, this could be intense for somebody. There's no denying that. And I don't want to get into what somebody else's problem is here, but I'm just saying for that this person who is very ill, that the issue could be significant. Okay. Because this is a whole regimen. And if somebody has been treated with lithium or tricylics, you could have what would appear to the rest of us, to be mood symptoms that subside, with the aid of the drugs. But, what you're hoping doesn't happen is you don't want to see issues with irritability that appear. Okay, these are something, I don't know what to say. This person, the person who is very ill, if they have not passed already, and if there's this issue, because I was getting, like I was getting like, a mass, and I was really feeling like it was body centered, like in the center of the body. This could get very complicated for somebody. And it's not like the depressed person is imagining bodily symptoms. I mean, if somebody is undergoing chemotherapy, that's obvious that, something is going on. You could be aware of this. You may be completely unaware of this. Obviously, this is a very specific piece of the message. That's why I'm trying to get this out of the way. Somebody already would have undergone some level of, psychoanalysis and would already be undergoing, treatments like chemotherapy. So it's not like this is all in somebody's head. If this is the person that I'm talking about, this is what's happening to them. I don't know. We could get into like some kind of a discussion about, the neuroendocrine or, autonomic nervous system issues, but I want to let's get away from that and clear that out. So I think let's get some cues just with the curiosity first, because I really feel like I want to talk about, I don't know if this person is still projecting at you. I don't know if this is like their cohort who is now their former or could be on the way out. There could be like I said, a divorce associated with this. I don't know if I'm going to go into the Lenormand for the rest, the rest of this. I like pharmaceuticals are significant. There's some kind of, there should be consideration with this, but, obviously all of the specialists involved are going to manage that, but you could get some really unusual symptoms. And again, this is for entertainment purposes only. All right, I'm just here to tell you a story. Don't forget that. But there's very specific psychotherapies for every situation, okay, including people undergoing chemotherapy. Somebody could be experiencing, this person could be experiencing the usual symptoms that would occur, with depression, symptoms that need to be managed. They could be having difficulty sleeping, loss of appetite, fatigue, headache, intestinal cramps, constipation. This is not in somebody's head. Okay, so yes, there's the answer to the question. Yeah. All right, so somebody is still sending the evil eye. Somebody could have blue eyes. Doesn't matter. It just happens to be a blue eye. I like to think that in this art, this is the protection that you have around you. All right, let's see. What else are we going to get about this? Why? It's almost like as if you're completely unaware that somebody is sending all this crap to you, which is good. That's healthy. All right, because even if you were like, yeah, somebody gives me the heebie-jeebies, well, they do. That's why when we meet certain people, you could know a person for a decade and all of a sudden be like, whoa. Okay, but you'd have to be in a situation where you get to see the mask drop. Your instincts would have told you that. You would have gotten that. You could have gotten that feeling. Maybe they have that feeling like, I want to jump out a window, or somebody could try to tell that person. We're gonna have to figure out literally which one's the villain here. Okay, because somebody could be saying, oh, you're just trying to divorce me because you're sick. That usually happens with depression. You're depressed because of your illness, but I don't really get that. I mean, like, somebody's got a psychiatrist in this situation, so obviously, this could be part of an entire care team. Maybe somebody in the care team is saying, well, you probably want to divorce this person because you're depressed. When, maybe the ill person is saying, no, this person's making me sick. Some kind of psycho-spiritual situation. Because depression is a total state. Okay. And it's going to include psychosomatic interrelationships. There's no way around that. Okay. All right, let's see. Why is somebody projecting this towards you? Let's get to what the heart of the matter is here. Why continue? I mean, this is what I don't get, right? If somebody's sick, why are they spending their precious energy projecting onto you, unless it's not the person who is sick that is projecting onto you? I mean, like, what you want with psychotherapy is you're hoping to improve interpersonal relations. Huh. Some kind of an affective disorder is what's happening here. This person has no ability to cope. I mean, they can't cope. That's what part of the problem. You could have a person who apparently copes or can cope with lots of things, but at the core, at the heart of the matter is that there are things that they've never addressed. They have never addressed particular issues, so they might not be able to cope in an interpersonal difficulty, like especially in marriage or family relations, or instead of raising their children, they've, fucking disappear. Or they don't want to, or they'll take a job where they're nowhere near those children, because they don't want to raise them because they just can't deal with it. All right, so now we have fake profiles. Somebody's got fake profiles. Maybe somebody's, I don't know which person it is yet. We're going to have to see. Okay, so somebody has created fake profiles and you still are like, okay, all right. If that entertains you or that makes you happy. I don't know too many people that indulge in this. I mean, I've known one person who is such a freak. So, I mean, this guy is so weird. Like, I knew, and then when I found out the depth of it, it's like, man, this guy's not only just, he's like a child, he has literally the mind of the child, diagnosed in all kinds of ways. And this is scary because this individual, as I, got deeper into it, realizing the full effect that this was a guy with such a, like probably operating at about, uh, you know, the level of a 10-year-old, making a bunch of fake profiles, but the fake profiles that were so easy to tell. Once in a while, I still see them come through and it's, from the same person. And he would even try to make fake profiles of women. He would impersonate women. Very scary, very interesting. It's kind of like, I no longer jump into those studies just to see like what the fuck is wrong with the person. Psychodynamic principles always remain the same. Okay. All right. I'm not a researcher. I don't want to work that hard. Okay. I will leave that up to my son. All right. This person is incapable of saying, tell me that I'm not crazy, because they're the ones that'll tell you I'm not crazy. There's nothing wrong with me. Or all of a sudden, like in the case of the one that had the ability to operate at about the level of a 10-year-old, knew, of course, the diagnoses. And yet, with the help of his own mother enabling this, all of a sudden, she has wrapped him in this dirty blanket of, well, everybody's poking me and prodding me, and, oh, they're so mean to me. They were telling me this and telling me that. It's like, yeah, because that's what's wrong with you. And what went wrong is that your mother didn't push to get you help at the right time. Okay. That was a parenting issue. But then when the individual is a grown-ass adult and knows there's a whole lot wrong, it is their responsibility, if they're able to discern at all, to continue to get help. I mean, it's like a rabbit hole. You go in, you get sick with everybody. All right, let's see. So we've got somebody making fake profiles, and you're like, okay, all right, whatever floats your boat. You've gotten far and away from people like this. You don't have these people in your life. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like you're just kind of doing your own thing, like whatever. Okay, when I spot you, when I have a moment to disregard you, I will again disregard you. There are some people that would benefit from group therapy, except they would infect the group with their illness. They would infect the group. Okay, so again, there's something about the mass, something about the body. Let's get off the medical, because this is really not what I wanted to do here. Okay. So why the fake profiles? And then I don't know, I'm kind of eyeballing this to see if we're going to move into the Lenormand or not. Okay, boiling point. Boiling point, alcohol is or was involved. Maybe you were like tipping that bottle going, fuck all these crazy people. This is insanity. Now, this is pressure's been building for too long. Situations one spark away from full-blown combustion. Somebody could be a mechanic. All right, so we've got combustion there. Somebody could be a mechanic. Somebody could do something with that. I'm getting like, I don't know, that card. Let me see if I get it again. I almost had it again. This is a person who's in the fantasy world. This could be a person who's very immature. Somebody, like I said, who cannot function. They could apparently barely function, or they kind of grab onto other people because they're either clout chasing, or they think that person's going to give them a shred of credibility. They live in a story. They live in a story, not like me telling you these stories. I mean, like, they literally live in a story that is in a fantasy world of their head. These people are exceptionally dangerous because, well, it depends if you want to research this or not. I suggest you don't. I've been there, done that. I could tell you don't do it. Because when you're like, oh my gosh, I thought you were just kind of stupid, like that, harmless, and then you, for one reason or another, end up in the web. Something about the web, the World Wide Web. I'm telling you that somebody's doing some weird shit online. they could be caught already. You could have already been contacted by multiple, social media platforms or law enforcement. Law enforcement will come right to you at a certain point when other people complain. And depending on where you are and where they are, this could be interstate. I mean, the FBI could be involved here. All right, let's see. Well, you would know. They would have contacted you already. All right, let's see. Let them handle it. All right. Well, boy, yeah, test results. So somebody could have gotten somebody else pregnant. Now, I'm really sorry if this person has procreated. They probably have already procreated in the past, and those unfortunate souls will have to correct so much of what's wrong. And then you're hoping that none of them have inherited this level of mental illness here. But test results, now this could mean, medical test results. This could be this is a person who's unfit. They should never raise children, have children. This is a person, like I said, would run away from their children. They can't deal with reality. So, man, woman, this is a person who just cannot function. They really should never be left to raise their own children. I mean, if this is a man, the mother of their children could have become very ill, really struggled with a situational kind of problem, just some psychological problems because of that individual. But, when we learn and we grow, like, I don't know, if you're a psychic investigator, you already know what I'm talking about. Okay, and if this is the woman, this doesn't feel like post-traumatic stress disorder, although there's a person like this that could cause that. Spilled tea, I'm spilling the tea. All right, or somebody spilling the tea, and this is the gossip. Try to get the truth as much as you can about a situation. We all make mistakes and end up at times with people that are completely inappropriate for us that are just you're not on the same level. Somebody has an intellectual disability here. It's a potential for an intellectual disability. I mean, I'm talking a serious intellectual disability, a diagnosed intellectual disability. MV vibes, fake profiles, alcohol's involved, fantasy. Well, this is a person that could put something in your drink, okay? So I'm just saying, I'm going to try to throw as many of the scenarios as I can. There are consequences for this person. This person could be this looks like a physical prison. This person could get themselves in so much trouble that they could, face consequences of the legal kind. All right, let's get one more here. Fantasy world. Here we are telling stories. Yeah, ex drama. This is your ex. This is somebody that you were associated with, or if you're with somebody new and they're happy and healthy, this could be their ex. Let's just get a couple more, and then I'm going to see how I feel about this. Lord have mercy on me. People like this could make you end up in therapy, okay? All right, let's see. All right. Therapists have therapists, okay? Usually happen. Oh, shit. Okay, so somebody could be pregnant. They could have literally procreated with somebody else, and that is a sad, sad thing because there are some people that should just never have children. And I'm sorry to say that. I hope that if this person already has children, that they are getting healthy and they're moving on, but they could cause so many issues for these children, whether through abandoning them and blaming everybody and turning to substance, and then everybody ends up on a substance because it's unbelievable that there are people like this. And it's really like there could be narcissistic tendencies here. Somebody could have had tattoo. You could be, I hope you're not the one expecting, but remember, you can get help for any number of things, and that I believe that you will always be protected. All right. Get away from people like this. Situationship. Somebody could be in a situationship with somebody who's not right. Okay. It's also your responsibility as a parent when you know that there's something going on with your child. Even if you don't like what educators or medical doctors, specialists are telling you, you need to get information. And I'm not talking about you just collecting information or living your life through a television. Somebody sits down and watches television and thinks that somehow that's real life. That's a fantasy. This is ridiculous here. You have to be able to get education, and you need to be able, but meaning it doesn't mean that you have to go to Harvard to go get information. I'm saying that you need to be able to, understand that, you're going to need to go to professionals and get help. You're going to need to get multiple opinions, but at some point you're going to have to understand that if you just try to cover this up like a piece of shit in a kitty litter box, it still is going to be in there. It doesn't change anything. You're harming that person. Okay, so you need to be proactive in these situations. Somebody could use proactive. All right, let's see what's going on. Pay attention to people's eyes because you're going to know. All right, so back together, but it wanted to come out in reverse. This person may want you back, or, if this is your new person's ex-person, place it where it fits, please, so I don't have to work that hard in this. They may want you back. That's a fantasy that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. Like if something like this made you unwell or drove you to drink, or you're like, fuck, until you figure out what's going on or like who's doing what. They could be like, now they want the version of you that you were before they messed with you. And you're like, no, bitch, because, the only way that people get sane people like this, they have to completely lie. And you have to be vulnerable enough. That's why they'll either go for very young people, or I'm hearing like glory days. These people are stuck. Like they're not okay. There's so much I could say about this, but this would become a dissertation and we don't have time for that. All right, just a few more and then I really want off of this one. Yeah, toxic ties. In reverse, you cut toxic ties with this individual. Knots could be significant. Sailing could be significant. The Navy could be significant. Just tying knots. Okay, you could have been married to this person and like maybe you were just like, ugh, like finally we're able to get clear. Clean and clear. Somebody could have green eyes. All right, let's see. Yeah, because you detected it was it was just all about lies and shady dealings. I mean, there could be a whole lot of shady dealings. It could be like a whole family that's shady. There could be blood money involved in here. Yeah, and somebody else has been detecting the lies as well. There's somebody on the phone there's that guy making little fake profiles with those little fucking weird fingers. And you're just like, oh shit, what is this? So for those of you that are in a relationship with this person now, you're just like, oh my gosh. Somebody definitely has tattoos, whether you or he, have tattoos. Somebody could be really tatted up. Somebody could be really into body art or body modification. Okay, let's see. The person from the past, if it's a male, could have a beard. There could be something unusual about the nose. This is really weird. This is a person that does some weird shit on the internet, Look at in reverse. Party scene flew over here. This could be somebody that you were partying with, or, maybe they're like, I'm going to pretend I'm 18 years old forever. I want to go to the club. Hey, Mr. DJ, male or female, flip it around. I don't know, man. Sometimes we're just there to learn what to never allow to come near us again. Somebody has extreme, like, I don't know, they either have greasy hair, body odor is significant. This is kind of making me sick. Plot twist. Okay, let's move it along. What did you think of that Super Bowl performance, Bad Bunny? He's just amazing. Gorgeous young man. He's about the age of my eldest. It's just so sweet to see such a beautiful, clean performance. Everybody was dressed. Everything was beautiful. All right, so where do we go? I think that we're going to do this. We will go to the Lenormand because I got so many nice email messages from everybody. Thank you. All right. I can't always get to them, but I try to make some time to read a few at a time. All right. Let's go with Witchy Cauldron. Almost. We're going to go to the Witchy Cauldron. This is a learning tarot deck. It's kind of, there's a lot of information on each of them, and the cards are a little bit, heavy to shuffle. But for those of you that are just getting into the tarot and you want to learn how to read, like I told you, you don't need cards, okay? When you're developing your sixth sense, your psychic abilities, whatever you're doing, it's all in there. Just the cards help organize your thoughts. Okay, they're pieces of paper. They do nothing. All right, let's tell a story. But yeah, the Witchy Cauldron cards are cool because it It gives you chakras, it gives you astrology, gives you planets, it gives you inherently whether something's a yes or no, it gives you the reverse meanings. There we have a flipper. Somebody's a flipper, somebody wears a flipper. Flippers are significant. Okay, so we have the 10 of Pentacles, all right? So Virgo energy, Mercury energy. If you have a question on your mind, it's yes, it's that person. And this is the card of culmination. So this is where we got money, legacy. This is good news for you. You must see, this is what I'm saying. It just doesn't go with this. This is the past. But, you know, as I'm going to make sure that the male is significant, thumbs are significant. Somebody's all thumbs. Somebody's interfered with your mail, stolen your mail. Maybe you had to go complete, you know, hermit mode, gray rock, not give addresses. Maybe you've had to do that a few times in your life and somebody has stolen mail. Okay, that's okay. Remember, anything that's meant for you will not pass you by. Yeah, now we have the Queen of Pentacles as a challenge. So the challenge is, again, Virgo energy, Uranus energy, surprising energy. We're going to keep this Six of Wands. So the issue is male or female that you are 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, you are challenged by nurturing yourself at times, or maybe abundance is a challenge. Maybe you're making so much money you don't know what to do. Kind of hard to do these days, but it can be done. Fertility, prosperity, matters of sensuality. So recognition at the foundation, you are definitely doing really well. And this is all because you've gotten away from that person or people in your past. Okay, so Leo energy, Jupiter energy, significant. You're really doing well. For the fading influence of Five of Pentacles, that person from your past definitely was draining your energy. They're still sending you bullshit. They could be a Taurus, again, Mercury energy. They could be a Libra ruled by Mercury. Somebody could be a Taurus here. Let's see. Yeah, it was like everything about them was like destitute. Somebody could have an issue with the leg or the foot. Somebody from the past, crutches are significant. And you're just like, oh my God, what is this? Five of Pentacles, loss, poverty. They caused a lot of problems when, you know, maybe when they met you, you were already in Queen of Pentacles mode. You were already in Ten of Pentacles mode. Doesn't mean that you have to have a lot of money because it is a state of mind, but you were possibly a single mother, a single father, and taking care of yours because the Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles would be the quintessential perfect parent, like very, very wonderful, caring parents. Very stable parents. You don't have to have any money and you would still be present for your children and family. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, they don't leave their children. You never leave your children. You could have been dealing with somebody who fucking abandoned their children. Okay, so foundation, you were victorious. You meet this person, you're on your journey, and this person is just like, oh, ruins your life. Boom, ruins your life. You're like, shit. Like this is the kind of person who like friggin' like stalk you. All right, you could be again with the idea that I'm getting from this could be a sick person, or there could be multiple people. Somebody's definitely sick. I don't know. All right, so let's see what's in the crowning influence here. Yep. Temperance. You have learned to transmute all this energy, balance this energy. Sagittarius is significant. Jupiter energy is significant, okay? If we look at some of these numbers here, 2014 could be significant. The number 5, change, because you changed everything here. You knew there was something dangerous about this situation, or there was some interference in this situation. Temperance angel. The angels were watching over you. There's something about water. Never go on trips with water with people that you really don't know or don't trust. Do whatever you have to do until you can get away with them, because people like this can get you killed. All right. You've learned to embrace balance and peace, patience, moderation, tranquility. Maybe it took you 14 years to get to this point, or maybe it took you 5 years to get to this point. The number 5 is significant here. Near future for you, and we will move into the somebody's name is Lauren, Lorna, Laura. L names are significant here. All right, let's see. And we will do some of the names, but thank you so much for the messages. I appreciate it. brings me joy. I try to answer everything I can. All right, let's see. But I can't always guarantee that I can answer all of them, okay? Yeah, definitely somebody is like projecting some shit onto you that isn't even yours. Somebody's full of shit. Somebody smells like shit. Like that, I'm going to tell you something. If you ever detect there's a particular odor, and I'm not the only one that knows about this. You can talk to other people that are, highly connected to spirit, that will tell you that there is a particular odor that accompanies people that have attachments, okay? And that odor doesn't have to be like in the movies, sulfur. Somebody wastes their time watching movies all the time or something. Somebody is like, doesn't have a real life. But that odor, it literally smells like shit. To me, it smells like shit. It smells like filth. Like you'll meet people with unhygienic bodies. They don't clean themselves. It's like, I'm telling you, this is like a 10-year-old that you have to remind to take a bath, except they won't. And they'll throw a fit. Like, this is really, really disgusting energy. But I'm telling you, watch what a person smells like. Yeah, because for you, prosperity is coming. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning. You created a new beginning for yourself. Again, Taurus energy, Virgo energy, Capricorn energy. It's coming for you. The answer is yes. Okay, so you've got a new beginning that's coming to you, a new financial obligation. I said obligation, a new financial obligation with the Ace of Pentacles. You could be buying a house, buying property, buying something new, replacing things that need to be replaced. Okay, something about the spring will be significant. Also, the month of May could be significant. All right. So, new investments, property, security, stability, abundance, manifestation. You're doing it all right. Okay. All right, so in the current environment, what's going on? Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, so we've got Aquarius energy, air energy, Venus energy. The answer is no. Never go back to that person. Never let them near you. Never let them come near you. I don't care what you have to do. I don't care where you have to go. You just go complete gray rock. Okay, you can study different experts on narcissistic personality disorder. This person has every, like, tell me a disorder, that person probably has it, okay? Probably completely unregulated, unmedicated, not receiving, proper medical care. Probably somebody who's a Trump supporter. Somebody's like, I ain't going to the doctor. You know what I mean? Okay, don't go to the doctor, bitch, but you're sick and we don't want you. This is a person who's defeated. Uh-huh. They're going to try to apologize to you. Mm-hmm. 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 This is a person that could hurt you. This is a person that will put their hands on you. This is a person that will try to hurt you, put their hands on your anything, choke you out, do something, knock you down, hurt you, and you might have to literally fight fire with fire. This could be a fire sign, but I'm getting air sign here. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, we have the swords. Okay, and this person's going to try to apologize. You may have had to literally like fight a bitch over this shit, like, because literally this is the kind of energy. 5 of Swords right in your face. They don't care. All right. Somebody's name is Dennis. Somebody's name is Dave. Dennis D. Dion. All right, so they're going to try to apologize to you. It's a tiny little apology from a tiny little person, okay? Pisces energy, lunar energy, all right? Don't accept the apology. They're telling people that they want to apologize to you. They're like, oh, I love him or her so much now. I need to make, no, bitch. Okay, so now, here we have in the hopes and fears. Look, you're hoping that there will be a reciprocal effect here. Again, Taurus energy, lunar energy, and the answer is yes. So this is, don't worry about it, because anything that you lack, the universe will provide. Anything that you are missing, from the 5 of Pentacles to the 6 of Pentacles, it will be given back to you. Somebody stole from you. Okay, so here we have, as the outcome, the Knight of Pentacles. Again, so here we got Capricorn energy with Saturn energy. So, keep your routine, remain patient, persevere. It may seem like your progress forward is slow, but that's slow and steady wins the race. Rabbits are significant, races are significant. All right, so let's get a summary here. I'm trying to see if we're going to make it, if we're going to go one more pass, or if I jump into the Lenormand. Jumping is significant. Okay, so let's see. Maybe you're like jumping the hell out of your, Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this is malice, hypocrisy, suspicion, problems. Somebody who is unconcerned with the feelings of others. That's who you were dealing with. And, you could say, Rita, it's been like 15 people that did this to me. Well, I'm telling you, the ones that would be the most relevant, that would make the most sense to you, they're irrelevant. You're relevant. They're still trying. They're still trying. So we have Sun energy. Also, we have Gemini energy. Something could be happening either in the months of in the time of Gemini, so somewhere around June, maybe somewhere around August, just kind of, keep your eyes open because this is a quintessential spying card. It's in the reverse, so you obviously are not in their purview. They cannot see you, they cannot find you. Page of Swords, okay, air web. They could be trying to watch you online. So yeah, go take a hike. All right, let's do one quick pass with the Witchy Cauldron to see what are they up to. Damn. Yep. If it was a female, it was the Empress in reverse. This is a bad parent, Venus energy, indulgent energy, overweight energy, insecurity, infertility, lack of confidence, lack of growth. And number 3 is significant. Things could happen in threes. Deaths happen in threes. All right, so we've got what they're up to. They could have hooked up to and impregnated an Empress in the reverse, just somebody who sucks. Okay, so let's see, negligence, somebody who neglects children. You could have been involved with a woman who neglects their children or chooses themselves over their children, or they could be involved with somebody like that, or they're a parent, a father like that. They're challenged because these are people that are fucking afraid to be alone. They cannot stand on their own. Again, Virgo energy with that card there. They do not have independent wealth, which means, because a 9 of Pentacles is traditionally the card of the kept woman. That's an archaic, ancient meaning of that card. Of course, unless somebody literally is a fucking prostitute, but here, who knows, maybe they frequented prostitutes, or somebody's like, I'm going to become a prostitute and save myself. No, bitch, like, stand on your own. Okay, so this means that this person is not independent, meaning that they don't create their own wealth. They don't know how to do that. Somehow they are anchored to somebody else's wealth. Maybe it is their own mother that provides the wealth. They really are nothing, have nothing. You know what I mean? Yep. 2 of Cups in reverse. This is somebody that you left in the dust. Cancer energy here with this one. Venus energy. It was never a match. It was never a good match. It should never have happened. 2 of Cups, whether this was a relationship or a business arrangement, should never have happened. Take what resonates here. You know how to play this game. To the 3 of Cups in reverse. A celebration gone wrong. Too many people involved. Too much drinking involved. Too much everything involved. People involved. 3 of Cups could be a celebration that was overindulgent to gossiping, bitchiness, and it did result in a marriage. You could have been married to this motherfucker or this bitch. Sorry that I'm cussing like this, but I feel like I have to drive this point home. Near future, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. I'm telling you, this is a false king. This is not a king. This is a little boy. We did have that Queen of Pentacles. You remember that from a little bit earlier. Where were we? Yep, right there. You were the Queen of Pentacles, but there, a king, even in the same suit in the reverse next to the Queen of Pentacles, that's not a match because she's really the Queen of Pentacles and he was never a King of Pentacles. This is not somebody who takes care of their children. Like I told you, this is somebody who does not take care of their family. This is somebody who does not make their own wealth. This is somebody who cannot manage a business. This is somebody who is a problem. Somebody's materialistic, dull, meaning not that bright. Okay, preoccupied with money or accoutrement because they want to give the illusion that they have something. They have nothing. You could check into everything and figure out that this person is nothing. They are literally like, this could be like a trust fund baby, except maybe they're not that bright. Okay, so they'll do anything for money. It's all about the money, even if they have to say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Okay, whatever. Let's see. So now for the current environment, what's up with them? Look we go from the 5 of Swords. We have the 7 of Swords, Aquarius energy. Again, double air energy. This is an air sign. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, deceit, lies, trickery, cheating, theft, underhanded, dishonest, dangerous, risky behavior, enemy masquerading as a friend. This is not your friend. Spying. Here we go again. Lack of conscience, strategy, resourceful, flexible, escaping interconnection. This is a person who is that they wear a mask and they pretend to be someone and something that they are not. How does it look from the outside? This is the person that's funding their lifestyle or they're trying to attract a Queen of Wands. Could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, doesn't have to be, but they think that they're going to attract somebody who's attractive, abundant, creative. They think that they're going to attract somebody with business. I'm like, you're out of their league. Okay? Call it what it is, okay? Hopes and fears for that person who's never going to get anybody who's worth it, because like, look, they need to just stay in their own lane and with their own type. Because they don't want to let go. 6 of Cups in reverse. They don't want to let go. Scorpio energy. You could be a Scorpio. Somebody here could be a Scorpio. Letting go of the past. They won't do it. They refuse. Okay, they won't focus on the future. They won't mature. They won't grow up. They won't leave home. Somehow, like, this is really gossipy bitch energy. This is like a bitch, male or female. Just somebody who's like, bitch, bitch, bitch. And we have the 4 of Wands, you gone. They are unstable. Aries energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius could be significant. Unhappy families, postponed, canceled reunions, leaving home. A pause to relax, narrow-mindedness, disapproval. Nobody approves of this person. Everybody's like, fuck, like maybe people are wondering, how the hell did they get somebody like you? Or if this is your new person's ex, you're like, how the hell did they get somebody like you? Well, shit like this happens sometimes. Sometimes we're just not in the right frame of mind. And, Summary, lovers, a choice was made. The choice was made on top of them. Gemini energy, air energy. Again, I'm telling you, highly indicative of an air sign. Okay, so we're going to do a quick pass here with the Lenormand because I promised that I would do that. Yeah, definitely stay away from this person. You can't tell your new person what to do. Don't get involved in your new person unless it's like coming into your life and it's like disturbing the situation. You have to let people do what they're going to do. Okay, you're not somebody's father, you're not somebody's mother. Okay, you have to let people, obviously, unless you're with somebody like this. I don't think so. Okay, so let's see what's coming for you, because you're not afraid of any of this. We have the Fish card. Okay, so for you, everything looks good. Fortune, money, luck is coming. All right. I really feel like I need to say it that way because the fish and the Lenormand could also mean that things go wrong. So let's see the second card, and we're going to see if this means that something goes wrong, because it could just be because there's a man. There's like an overweight man. Okay, so let's see. The number 34 could be significant. You could be 34. They could be 43, vice versa. 4, 3, 7. 7 is a bad luck number for me right now. Okay, so the next card is... it is the past person. So let's read the Lenormand, because I thought it was going to be fish like abundance. Nope. When the fish swim near in an ocean vast, prospects are clear for a fortune amassed. That's you. If the fish swim away, hopes are battered, cheer turns to dismay, and dreams are shattered. Okay, so I'm going to place him or her over here, 34, card number 8, coffin. Let's just read it for fun. Illness is known, sickness is near, fate has its own ending to fear. You lose your money, all's hopeless to you. And what is the saddest? Your courage fails too. This person is... they never had any courage. Owls are significant. You could resonate with owls, okay? There we go. Lord. Okay, so they have the Tower. Card number 19. 19 is significant. 10 is significant. Let's read it. I forgot about that. Okay, so a lone tower stands confident and secure. Ground your strength in all that is pure. When troubles surround, weakness may come. Problems that abound, you must overcome. You have overcome this, but they're going to have to overcome this. All right, let's see. Can we get Holy Spirit something about you? Okay, that's what's going on with them. We're going to keep them on the left. Something about the left-hand path. Somebody's like a kitchen fucking witch. Okay, right? Like, we can all pretend to be witches, and like only you'd have to be pretty basic to believe this. I've been able to convince people of some shit. All right, let's see. For you, we have the ring. We saw that again in part of that other reading. Okay, but this is for you. You're either getting married or engaged. Oh, forgot. Let's read it. 25 is significant. You could be 25. Somebody could be 52. Ring to the right. Your love is alive. It will be ever bright and continue to thrive. Ring to the left and troubles begin. Your heart will be cleft and filled with chagrin. Somebody could have a cleft chin. Okay, so let's just start off with that for you. They are to the left. Let them be in their chagrin. Uh-huh. This crosses at birch rod. Okay, so let's read birch rod. The number 11 could be significant. November could be significant. Okay, birch rod brings strife to what should be bliss to husband and wife. All has gone amiss. Prepare for sorrows that dampen the day, begotten of quarrels that bring much dismay. Okay, so you could have been definitely married to this person. I'm almost inclined to do this. Let's see. I don't know. This could indicate that you were married to this person. Yep. Uh-huh. Because now we have the Cavalier. Number 1, you could be born on the 1st of the month. Somebody could be born on the 1st of the month. Heed well good news from the Cavalier. Impassioned views promise good cheer. Sadness that hides, veiled in the day, once disguised, soon flies away. Yep, you were married to this person, or somebody was married to this person, or in a high level of commitment that could have involved a ring, and it was punishment. It was birch rod. It was a lesson for you, a lesson for them, a lesson for you to not entertain idiots or people that are of a low level vibrational. Okay, here comes the Cavalier. Somebody's coming in. It could be around Valentine's Day. You could already be with this person. Somebody could be an equestrian. Somebody could wear a jaunty top hat. Okay. Somebody looks great in white pants. Woo! Okay, so these flew out. I have to take them. The scythe in reverse flew that way over toward the ring. So number 10, the 10th month, October. Somebody could be born in October. The scythe cuts bare, danger stalks too. Of strangers beware, they can harm you. If nearby cards hold favorable view, with swift action you'll overcome too. Uh-huh, you got away from somebody who was a problem. And over here, kind of crossing, and it fell in between these two. We have the number 7. 7th month, July, you could be dealing with a Cancer. Vile is the serpent who lulls with a bite. Be not indulgent or slow to the fight. Flee every moment. She turns on the charm. This poised opponent will bring you to harm. They're going to still try to fuck with you, and you're like, I don't care. I know how to beware. I know what to do. I've already met the snake. Somebody could be born in the year of the snake. Horses could be significant. Somebody could be born in the year of the horse. Okay, so oops, we have the second card here, number 2. So we've got, this could be February. Somebody could be born on the 2nd of the month or in February. And we have Clover. Uh-huh. Oh, read it, Rita. Read it, Rita. Read it. Flowers surrounded in clover leaf means happiness surmounted over grief. Bits of luck and fortune await. You have the potential to make. Oh, yeah, you're headed for good things. Like, screw this. You're headed for amazing good things. Okay, so with the Cavalier, you could end up in a high level commitment with somebody who is awesome, somebody who's on your level. Okay, somebody. There's lots it's fine when people have different significant illnesses. It's not okay when they go and destroy other people. The number 12 is significant. Somebody could be born on the 12th of the month. Somebody could be born on the 17th of the month. Okay, so let's see. What more? Oh, there's the mice card. Again, something that was taken from you is going to be returned. And if it doesn't come back in the same way, it's going to come back and it will be just as good and better. Okay, but let's read it because this could be mischievous. The robber mice take your treasure. Inside the house they steal with pleasure. Hope's not forgone when this card is near. Once the mice are gone, you regain what is here. Somebody could have been living, I've seen that situation before, where like plague is present and the house is overrun by mice because the evil is so in there. Like when people have these kind of issues, they could be just completely wide open for all kinds of attachments because the evil is just already present. I have seen this myself. Okay. Mice could be significant. You could have been living with somebody or married to somebody with somebody where like you knew the house was fucking overrun with mice. Just everything was wrong. That's probably the person that stole something from you, did something to you. This could be the person doing something on the internet to you. The number 24, 4 and 2 is 6. 6 of the month. Any month is significant. Heart. Okay, the heart is a symbol of fulfillment and joy. Romance is in full bloom for you to enjoy. Serenity rests deep in thy heart. Loving thyself is where it should start. You learn to love yourself, and you got away from everybody. Maybe you let your friends help you. Maybe you let other people help just get you back into your sacred space. Okay, you could already be in a relationship with somebody. All right, let's see, heart or not. Maybe you've just learned to love yourself. Like, I love myself enough to know I'm never accepting anybody who is not good for me because I love myself more than that. Maybe you've learned that you're not into fixer-uppers because you don't flip houses, okay? So somebody could flip houses. Somebody could be into real estate. You could end up with a realtor. Okay, so now we have, flew over here to Cavalier. We have flowers. Somebody's bringing you the flowers. The number 9 is significant. Somebody could be born in September. Somebody could be born on the 9th, the 12th, the 23rd, the 24th. Okay, so happiness anew from the flowers sent. The outlook for you means encouragement. Days will be filled with pleasures come true. Fate has so willed the best unto you. Sweetheart, whoever you are, this is going to get good. All right, let's get one more card and then we're going to stop it right here because we have enough. This person is ill in all kinds of ways. And, I don't know. Oh, yep, right over here. 35, somebody could be 35, somebody could be 53. And we have the anchor. The anchor is a sign of stable event. Vast and sunshine, secure and content. When the anchor is some distance away from you, hope will fade and leave life askew. It was right over here. There is a cavalier that is bringing balance into your life, will help stabilize you. Not that you aren't balanced or you need somebody to stabilize you because you probably have already gotten to that point or you're working toward that. But this is somebody that will bring balance, like bringing balance to the fourth. Why don't we get fourth? The fourth is significant. The 4th of any month is significant. The 14th, Valentine's Day, is significant. We are in February and we're coming up on it. All right, let's see. Let's get a romance angel. Oh, I said we were going to get some names. All right, let's try to get some names. I think we'll try. I don't know. Somebody's name is Andy. We got Dan, Gabby. Keep an open mind because, the person who is actually your person, your real person, is probably going to be different from what you think. And we also have chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Somebody who they could have facial hair, they could have a beard. The color blue is significant. Maybe they wear blue and you wear red. Blue and red is significant. That's super deluxe. Okay, somebody's super deluxe. Somebody's super deluxe. Somebody's super deluxe. Okay, I don't know. I thought I heard something there too, but I can't make sense of it. All right, let's see. Somebody wants to take you away. They're going to release you from the pain. No, you're not in pain anymore, sweetheart. I don't feel any pain coming from you. That's why it doesn't bother you that somebody's sending you any kind of negative energy because Cupid is over here. Cupid, drop back your bow and let. Okay, so whoa, something about Valentine's Day. Something beautiful is coming towards you. Beware, this was deception. It did fly out in the reverse, but beware. Make sure that you don't let anybody trick you from the past because they are wearing masks. Masks are significant. Thespians are significant. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no masks, okay? Love yourself first, what you have done. Okay, that's what you've done. That's how you get here. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. You probably weren't respecting yourself much at all when you were with this other person because you were just like, oh my God, this is just a shit show. I might as, whoa, too many spirit. We're going to take that. Somebody's going to get married, something about a wedding. It is safe for you to love. Okay, you could be like, oh, Rita, I'm in the middle of a divorce. Well, that doesn't mean you're not going to get married. All right, so we were getting names, right? Let's get names. Let's see. Already. Regina and Smith is significant. Somebody's name is Francine. Whoops. We're going to take, let's see, these Andrew, Carly, Jensen, Alexia, Cheryl, Terrence, Suzanne, and Isabella. All right. I think we're going to keep those names of significance. I hope that meant something for you. All right, you guys. So to sum it up, you were dealing with something really shitty from the past. It is over. You've let it go. They're still trying to project onto you in some weird way. Somebody's name could be Sam. They're trying to project something to you in a really weird way, and you need to continue to ignore it. What does it matter? They don't matter. So mind over matter. If you don't mind them, they don't matter. Nothing you could do about this person anyway. Let them do whatever they're going to do. Somebody's divorcing. Somebody's just avoiding this whole thing. But you are moving on to good things. Take good care. God bless you. Talk to you soon.